Hey folks, thanks for stopping by Just Cooking with the Guys. I appreciate you taking time to stop and watch our videos. Today's video is going to be some bow tie pasta and ground beef. I think you're going to enjoy it. This is going to be kind of a recipe for two, maybe. A good quick weeknight meal. I hope you enjoy it. So stick around and we're going to get set up and start cooking. Okay, we're starting off with some ground beef. I've got, I think, probably around 3/4 of a pound here. We buy our ground beef in bulk and we package it up into smaller packages, do some vacuum sealing. And usually it's just my wife and I. So we package it in smaller amounts because, a pound of beef is a lot for us to eat in one sitting. We try not to have too many leftovers. So anyway, I've got about, I don't know, it's about 3/4 of a pound here. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to break this up and get it started. I got it cooking at about 380 degrees. So we'll get this browned up. And in a minute, I've got some red bell pepper and some onion I'm going to add to it. And then in a minute, we'll add some other seasonings to it. So let me get this browned up pretty good, and we'll be back in just a sec. We've got this pretty much browned up. There's still a little bit of pink here, but I'm going to go ahead and get some of this extra grease off of this meat. And one way I found that works for me is kind of push the meat to the side and grab a pair of tongs and some paper towels and just kind of tilt it over. I'm going to get all this grease. I'm going to leave some of it in there, but I'm going to get the bulk of it out of there. Maybe about that much in there. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and add my bell pepper and my onion. And I've got about a half a cup of a red bell pepper and a half a cup of an onion that we diced up fairly small. And we're going to add that into the mix right here. I'm also going to add in a little bit of garlic, maybe about that much right there. I've also got like a teaspoon and a half of an Italian seasoning. I'm going to dump that in too. I'm going to let this saute for a bit, get these onions and peppers kind of softened up. And it's already smelling really good. And we're not even close to being ready yet. We'll be back in a minute, so stick around with me. We've got this saute for about 5 minutes or so. And our onions and our bell peppers are starting to soften up a bit. So at this point, I'm going to add a half a cup of beef broth. Also, I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes. Oh, you guys get in there. There we go. Mix this around real good. I've got 1 cup of bow tie pasta that I cooked. Now I just went by package directions. You can cook this al dente or a little pass, and I cooked it a little pass because that's the way I like it. I'm going to dump this in. Give it a good stir, steer, whatever you want to call it. Depends on where you're from, I guess. Some people might say a steer is a male cow, or it could be the way you drive your car. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to put just a little bit of black pepper in here. And just a pinch of salt, not a lot. I'm going to let this cook for a few minutes and kind of cook some of the liquid down. And we'll be back in a few minutes, so stay with me. Okay, we've cooked this down where most of the liquid has evaporated. And I'm going to add some cheese to the top of this. I've probably got, I don't know, a cup and a half of a Colby Jack cheese I'm going to add to it. You can add any kind of cheese you want. Maybe you have some sharp cheddar you want to put on here instead, and that's totally fine. I'm going to place a lid on top of this just long enough for the cheese to melt just for a few minutes, and we'll be back and give this a taste, so hang around. Okay, when I put the cheese on top, I went ahead and placed the lid on top of this, and as much heat that was in there, I took it off of the burner and just allowed the residual heat to melt the cheese. And I'm going to take the lid off now and see what we got. So let's check this out. You ready? Are you ready? All right. Let's plate some of this up and see what we've got here. I tell you, it smells fantastic. Check this out. Okay, let's check this out and see what we've got here. Tell you what, it really looks good. Got a piece of pasta there. The tomatoes. Hey, this turned out really good. Thanks for stopping by Just Cooking with the Guys. I appreciate you taking time to watch our videos. I'm going to go eat this stuff, and I will see you.